Hey you guys, this video was supposed to go up last Thursday, but I actually had to redo it because it was so dark and I wasn't really liking the way I did the video. So, you're gonna get two videos in one day now. But this video was all about why I'm training and what I'm training for. So, here we go. Originally it was just to get back into shape and start running again, but I knew that I wanted to race. That's a big deal to me. I am very competitive, so I don't actually just like to run. What's been keeping me really motivated is doing this vlog because I know people are watching, as well as beating my own personal goals, records, times, things like that. And that's super motivating to me. When I left running 9 years ago, I was in college and I was running for a Division I school, and I got injured and just didn't have what I needed to keep going, and I had some life decisions I made and just different things that personal reasons that I thought I should stop running, and I had a really bad IT band injury too, so I was kind of, my junior year was kind of shot already anyway. And I did really well my sophomore year, and I honestly shot myself in the foot going into my junior year because I did not train as much as I should have, like hardly at all actually, so that was my fault. But also I didn't have the support around me to bring me into some really good training to keep going. Whatever, all that's old news, but so through that, I basically did too much too fast and got injured and hurt my IT band. So when I quit running about 6 months after that, or 4 months after that, I was pursuing other dreams and other goals that I really wanted to go after, and I really wanted to be able to still run later in life, so I didn't want to keep going and hurt myself. So 4 years ago, I started running again, and my IT band injury started to flare up a little bit. And I had a couple little stints of trying to run before that, but it didn't last very long. And then this one, I ran on and off for like 3 months, and then I did 3 really dedicated months of running. Maybe 2, maybe it was 2. And I was getting pretty fast and running with a bunch of people, and it was really, really fun. And then I got sick, and getting sick is something that happens a lot with me, or it used to. And honestly, 4 years ago, I wasn't eating right, I wasn't taking vitamins, I wasn't really taking care of my body that well. So anyway, I stopped running, and now here we are, 4 years after that, and 9 years in total after I really quit competitively and consistently running, and I'm 29 years old. And what's interesting is, from the time I stopped running at almost age 21 to now, I thought like I was out of my prime, I could never beat my records, da 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 da. I'm learning that's a bunch of crap. So I've picked up some goals. I have a coach here who asked me, we met like 3 weeks ago, and he asked me, what are we training for? And I'm like, well, the Turkey Trot's coming up, it's a 6-mile race, and it's going to be my first race back in 9 years. I'm really excited, I want to run that. I want to run some fast 10K times and see how fast I can be in my 5K, but really I want to run half marathons and marathons. I think in your 30s, like my high school coaches always told me, don't run a marathon until you're close to 30 or 30. So I'm 4 months away from being 30. So I thought, well, this would be a great time to start training for some marathons and see what I can do. Because I tend to be able to keep a pace for a really long time, a really good pace. So I thought the farther I go, the better I am, so let's try marathons. So he's like, okay, so what do you want to train for? And I've always had the Boston Marathon as a goal in my mind. And I have to look up the times, but it's something like 3:45 or something you have to run it in. I can't remember. It's like based on age group and all this stuff. And so I've always kind of wanted to run the Boston Marathon. So my very first goal is to get through this turkey trot. My next goal would be to be qualified for Boston. But here's the thing. I have a long-term goal that is pretty lofty, but I think I can do it. And my coach thinks I can do it. And I've had a little bit of uncertainty of whether I should share this, which is why it's taken so long for this video to get up. Because there's a lot of critics out there, and I just wasn't sure if my heart was ready to hear everybody say, that's crazy, you can't do that, you're too old, you don't have any good times, da, da, da. So, I don't have any spectacular times. Like, my best 5K is 18:38. My best 10K, I only really ran once in college, and it was 39:27. So I don't have, like, spectacular times. But I want to train. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. Here's my heart on a platter. This is me being vulnerable. I want to train for the 2020 Olympic trials. So not necessarily Olympics, because you have to be really, really fast. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe. But, like, I just want to make the trials. And the reason I'm just shooting for the trials is because with that, it's racing against a clock instead of somebody else. So there's a lot of really good marathon runners out there. And if I can just not think about them, I get kind of tripped up about that. If I can just think about running a certain time to qualify, then that feels easier to me. So the time for A qualifying standard is 2:37, 2 hours 37 minutes, and for a marathon. And the time for B qualifying standard, which means you still get to go to the trials, you just don't get everything paid for, is 2:43. And now that's for 2016, so maybe they'll change it, because they do tend to change the standards, so I have to keep that in mind. And I think that's, I have to double check, but I think it's like either 6 minutes per mile or faster for a marathon. So that's crazy and super fast. Or I can run a half marathon in 75 minutes. So there it is, you guys. That's my long-term goal. And the thing I have to think about, and here's what complicates the goal. My husband and I have been married for 2 years, and we really want to start having kids. And we want kids close together. Okay, so it's 2015 right now, end of the year, so basically 2016. I have 4 years to train for this. And I've been training for 3 months already, so let's say 4.5 years. So my husband and I want 2 kids close together. So we're having to figure that out and get myself to a mileage that I can train throughout my pregnancies. So, so I'm trying to get to a certain amount of miles before we get pregnant. But, yeah, it's basically I'm going to have 2 kids back to back. And then I need to leave at least about 2 years for me to really hardcore train for these goals for the Olympic trials. So I understand there's a lot of obstacles in the way, and there's, you know, on paper, I'm not the one that would make the trials. I'm just not. Like, most people that run marathons in their 30s have gone to the Olympics in their 20s and have been national champions in college, and that wasn't me. Like, it just wasn't me. But I don't care. And I want to read you guys something that I wrote about a week ago when I was thinking about making this video. And I wrote this, it was late at night, and I said, so many dreams, yet so many obstacles. The thoughts rush in. You're too this, you're not that. You didn't win this or make that. Why you? Why now? Just live your life, give it up, it's impossible. Yet something rises up in me, pushing me forward, no matter the cost. It silences the limits, the voices, the crowd, and tells me, it's your turn, you are made for this. Nothing is impossible. I was born to run. And I really believe that. Like, I really believe I have a shot at this, and it's going to take a ton of work. It's going to take, when I'm pregnant, getting up and running every morning and not letting the emotions and the physical changes, like, affect that. And it's going to be hard. But I decided to vlog my running journey and my fitness journey, and this is where it's going, and I wanted to bring you guys into that. And it's super scary, honestly. I'm getting a little bit emotional right now, but it's super scary and super personal. But you know what? When I decided to do YouTube, I knew that these are the types of things that are going to come up, and that's a part of it. I want to bring you guys on my journey. And you know what? If I don't make the trials, oh well, right? At least I went for something. And like, I have 4 years to train for this and to have kids and to really go after my dream. And it's like, why not? You know, why not me? Why not now? Like, why couldn't I do it? If I really dedicate myself and put the time in and put the work in, then I'm going to do it. And I found this quote by Teddy Roosevelt last night, and I just really love it. And so I'm going to read this to you. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out the strong man's stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. But there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that this place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory or defeat. So there it is, you guys. I am training for the 2020 Olympic trials, and I'm going to get defeated, and I'm going to get victories all along the way, and I'm inviting you into the journey with me. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Who knows what pregnancy and having kids is going to do to my body, but I'm going to stay motivated. That's my promise to myself and to my coach, and I'm going for it. This is the only time in my life I'm going to get to do this, and I'm at the perfect age. Women peak in their late 20s, early 30s, and I'm in the Olympic trials are when I'm 34, like 33, almost 34. So this is going to be awesome, and I'm excited. So there you have it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and give me a thumbs up if you're with me, and yeah. Subscribe if you're new too, if you'd like to help watch this journey and support me along the way. I definitely can't do this by myself, and if I just keep my dreams to myself and I'm not vulnerable about them, I have a higher chance of giving up on them. So I wanted to invite you in on this journey. So join with me and let's see us do the impossible. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. I love you all. Bye.